Alexander, welcome to the program. I presume that even seasoned Lukashenko observers might be shocked at this. What's your take?
Yes, I mean, there's certainly a very kind of clear escalation of his usual tactic, not by arresting people, of course, but by such a brazen attempt of using transit flights, which was, as your report was saying, between two EU countries with the UK area landing into Belarus to arrest a specific opponent of the regime. So, yeah, I mean, this is a clear escalation, not because of the arrest, but because of complete disregard to any anything that the European Union might think, and any international norms as well, kind of really putting in danger kind of Belarus' reputation as a safe transit country for all the flights now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, while the EU has been skeptical of Lukashenko since even before the disputed election that has kept him in power, this surely will seal the deal in terms of its attitude and the way it treats Belarus under this particular president. But really, in all honesty, he doesn't seem to care at all about any sanctions that the EU might place upon him.
Well, of course, I mean, again, as your reporters say, the key for him is to staying in power, surviving, and for that, he knows that he needs to crack down hard. I mean, with the EU, I mean, it's not clear what else they can do. I mean, there is always this dilemma with the EU and Belarus that they don't want to push it too harsh, so that we're completely dependent on Moscow, right? So the more you increase pressure on Belarus, the more it becomes beholden to Moscow. And there's always this balancing act. And but Lukashenko has been extremely adept at using this in-between place between Moscow and Brussels to kind of play them both off. So yeah, I mean, this will kind of add to a long list of all the things he did wrong. But at the same time, it doesn't kind of remove this awkward situation for the European Union, that it doesn't really want to burn all the bridges with Lukashenko, perhaps, because of otherwise he'll be completely beholden to Moscow.
How much has Lukashenko been able to dilute the force of the opposition, the popular movement that we were reporting on almost daily, about thousands of people out on the streets and the security forces beating people up and what they were alleged to be doing to them in the prisons? How much has that diminished the opposition?
Well, I mean, opposition was, I mean, there was always this problem that it didn't have a clear leadership, it didn't have a clear structure, it didn't have a clear kind of path to power, in a sense that there was a few days in the beginning when they basically controlled the center of Kiev, Minsk, and they could have kind of seized some government buildings and so forth, but they refrained from doing that, and that's why you have Protasevich, who is the one of the two men behind next to the Telegram channel, which became extremely influential in guiding the opposition, because there was no one else apart from some journalists in Poland texting on and showing videos on Netflix to do that. But so once this spontaneous protest at the election results faded away, and they faded away because of the pressure from the authorities, there's very little to sustain it. So there is kind of underground resentment to Lukashenko among some people. But broadly speaking, I mean, there's no kind of consistent and sustained organization which can challenge Lukashenko now, and that's basically his calculation. And the arrest of Protasevich kind of fits into this very well, not because that channel, which he already left by now anyway, is so powerful, but I think it's more of a personal revenge by Lukashenko against all those people who dared to challenge him, and now he really wants to serve his revenge on somebody like Protasevich, so which doesn't look good for the unfortunate man, I'm afraid.
Yeah, absolutely. And regarding Protasevich himself, given what you know about the way Lukashenko has treated his opponents in the past, would you imagine that Protasevich will now spend the rest of his time while Lukashenko is president in prison, and he might only come out after Lukashenko leaves?
Yeah, I think that's probably the most likely scenario, in a sense that I mean, the men kind of went into quite a lot of effort. If you look at the reports around it, that there was clear kind of planned operation involving operatives on the ground in Athens, on the plane, coordination with the Air Force, etc. Anyway, so that was obviously quite deliberate and well-planned organization. They're not going to give him up lightly now, right? So it looks like he seems to be destined to stay in Belarus prison for quite a long time, unless, of course, there's some form of prisoner swap or exchange can be arranged at some point in the future. But for now, as long as Lukashenko is in power, he wanted this man, he got him, and now he's going to keep him.
Alexander, I really appreciate the analysis. Thank you so much indeed. Alexander Titov from Queen's University, Belfast.